The name of the game so far is injuries, believe it or not. Nothing major except a player I had on loan broke his hip or did something to his hip. He's out 6 to 9 months, Finn Mioni, which was really going to set him back. We beat Villa 1-0 thanks to a Milivojevic penalty goal in the 77th minute. This was really not much of a game. I mean, the guys had some really good ratings at the end, and we had 10 shots, 6 on target. They had 17 and 6. This was one of those where we probably should have won. We had more chances. We had more half chances. We had a huge possession advantage, but we're just not putting it in the goal. Against Everton, we lost 3-1. This was a real bummer of a game. Again, we had 20 shots, 9 on target, an XG of 2.56. We had one woodwork hit, one clear-cut chance, 6 half chances. They dominated possession this time. Against Everton, this was one of those games I felt was winnable, but at the same time, I mean, we had 17 shots, 6 on target. We had 3 blocked shots, 2 woodwork hits, 1 clear-cut chance, 2 half chances. Again, a huge possession advantage, and we're just not putting it in the box. And I've got work the ball in the box going on. We're going to bring our tempo up to standard here. So we're playing Forest Green in the Carabao Cup second round. They are a League 2 team. I'm not going to try and take them as lightly as I've taken other League 2 teams in the past, especially the team that beat us last year. Who was that beat us last year? Is it Ipswich? Yeah, Ipswich was a League 2 team last year, weren't they? Or were they a championship team? I remember yeah, it was just one of those things. Transfer window-wise, we have had a few more people leave. Adler Nascimento, who was my young forward, Sporting came in with an offer for $775,000, and he absolutely positively wanted to go. Nothing I could do to convince him to stay. And looking at him compared to the other guys I have, including the youth players I have, at 18 years old, he's not going to develop anytime soon. He got a decent amount of playing time last year and just really didn't improve all that much. So for $775,000, considering we played Peterborough $500,000 for him, I'm happy to let him move on. Wilfried Zaha went to Tottenham for $16 million, and then Man City turned around and said, give us 25%, and we did. Butland went to Leicester for $84,000, going up to $125,000 based on appearances. He's there as a backup. Reece Hannum went to Western United Football Club. Are they in UTA League? That's Australia, isn't it? Yep, that's Australia. So for $170,000, we haven't brought anyone else in other than Pellegrini. I've still got a couple of things I am looking at, in particular some more depth at defensive center back. Anderson and Guehi just are not getting along. It doesn't help that Zagadou broke his cheek and he's out he's not out, he's just not practicing. He's wearing the equipment. So current injury-wise, Roddy's got a pulled hamstring. Zagadou fractured his cheekbone. Banger still has a pulled calf muscle, but he'll be back next week. So today we've got something on my leg there. We got Pavlenka in goal, Schlupp, Guehi, Anderson, and Sessegnon as the defensive back four, Blanco and Chidre as the midfielders, Eze and Hughes as the attacking midfielders, Edward and Pellegrini up top as the strikers. This is not a bad side. It should be enough to beat Forest Green. But, the ball's around. Custer had a plan too, so the silence. The fully charged new lawn. Okay. Schlupp on the throw-in. Long throw-in. Oh, McGee jumps up and grabs it. He was aiming for Edward, but McGee beat him. Headed away. Anderson's going to run that down, I hope. Gets the ball to Schlupp. Back to Guehi. Over to Anderson. Out to Sessegnon. Over to Chowdhury. Sessegnon up to Pellegrini. Over to Hughes. Hughes back to Pellegrini. Gets the ball to Edward. Back to Guehi. Over to Schlupp. A lot of space in front of him. Gets the ball to Eze. Hughes breaking in and puts it far post. That was nice. A good assist by Eze. A nice long pass across the field, putting it right at Hughes' feet, allowing him to dribble on, allowing him to run onto the ball at full speed. Nice first touch by Hughes and a good goal. McGee gathers up the ball. Bombs it forward towards Hendry, who got behind Anderson, and he skies his shot. That would have been a very nice goal. We got lucky there. Schlupp. Sends it in. Hughes is there. Pellegrini's there, and it sneaks by McGee for the goal. Are they calling that an Eze goal? I thought it was Pellegrini. Edward to Schlupp. Schlupp sends it in. Hughes. Pellegrini. Oh, it bounced. McGee made the save, but it went right to Eze, and Eze put it in. It was a nice stop by McGee, but he wasn't going to stop all of it. Hughes. Oh, I have Dion. I don't know why. Blanco, a screamer of a shot for his first goal of the season. 3 goals in the first half. We are doing really well. Nice first touch to stop the ball with his left foot and just bang it in with his right. Sessegnon on the throw-in. Chaudhuri to Hughes. Hughes centers it in. Pellegrini's there, and he gets his second goal of the season. Nice header. Nice away crowd, too. And that is half the 4-0 lead. We are thoroughly dominating four screen. 16 shots. Yeah, 16 shots. 7 on target. XG 2.32. 6 block shots. 1 clear-cut chance. A 68% possession advantage. Brown to Hendry. Out to Cadden. Cadden gets it to Hendry. Hendry to Cadden. Cadden to Sidney Sam. He gets it back to Cadden. Takes the shot. He puts it up right corner. That was a screamer of a shot. As they're saying in the text below, a very fine goal. Absolutely out-faked Pavlenka. Pavlenka went right, the ball went left. God, they're playing this really compact 5-2-1-2. Edward to Schlupp. To Eze. Up into space. Pellegrini. Yeah, it's a crossbar. McGee bombs it forward, and that's the highlight. And we're 72 minutes in. Blanco and Hughes are kind of not doing well, but Hughes has 2 goals. So we'll leave him on so we can try and get the hat trick. Blanco, we are going to bring off for Riedewald. Sessegnon. Long pass. Pellegrini to Hughes. Hughes back to Anderson. Over to Guehi. Schlupp back to Guehi. Guehi out to Schlupp. Schlupp pass for Eze. Eze runs up on it. Holds it up. Gets it to Edward. Edward sends it in. Hughes is there. Misses his hat trick by hitting the woodwork. Sessegnon. And the play ends. That was a good opportunity for Hughes, but just no luck there. That's a second woodwork hit we've had of the game. McGee just bangs the ball forward. Sidney Sam, nice first touch. Gives the ball away, though. However, it's recovered by Adams. Over to Edwards. To Adams. To Medine. He takes a shot, and Pavlenka, a nice stop. And that is the game with a 4-1 victory. 21 shots, 8 on target, 2.78 XG, 6 block shots, 2 woodwork hits, both of which probably should have been goals. 1 clear-cut chance, 7 half chances, a 63% possession rate. That is the Palace football I am looking for. And, of course, we got Chelsea in 2 days. Fun times, fun times. Save the game here real quick. Be right back. Well, Chelsea finished 5th last year, and they fired Thomas Tuchel, and they hired Diego Simeone. So Tuchel is now at Tuchel. He's still unemployed. I find that hard to believe. And Diego Simeone came from Atletico Madrid to take over Chelsea. So who did Atletico Madrid hire? Nelson Vivas, who came from interesting. He was the assistant coach at Atletico Madrid. Okay, good on him. So today, what are we going to do? We'll let the assistant pick first, see what he fills in. Mateta. It's good for 75 minutes. That's good. Bandar will take off and throw on. I got to filter out some guys here. Throw on Hughes. Bandar will probably start. Well, not the next match because we're playing Bournemouth again in 3 days. Zagadou is my ball-playing defender on the left. For some reason, Guehi and Anderson do not have the best working relationship. Move Guehi up to the Jack Roll spot. What else are we looking at here? Zagadou is not entirely match fit. Ferguson is. We'll switch him and Anderson. So we got Pavlenka in goal, Mitchell, Ferguson, Anderson, and Sessegnon as the defensive back four. Sione and Milivojevic as the midfielders. Eze and Olise as the attack midfielders. Edward and Mateta up top as the strikers. And they do have a good relationship. That developed fairly quickly last season. Now our performances thus far in the season, and it's early, have really been up and down. When we've been good, we've been pretty good. Even when we haven't been scoring a lot of goals, and we've been bad. When we've been bad, we've been pretty bad, with not a lot of in between. I was hoping this season we could turn some of our draws into wins and some of our losses into draws. That remains to be seen. And for some reason, my mentality keeps going back down to balanced. Olise into space. Pulisic knocks it away. Lukaku heads it even more forward. Sione recovers. Feeds Mateta to Edouard. Olise feeds Mateta, and he scores his first goal of the season. He led the team last year in goals, and I realize now, looking back, what I usually go do is go to my squad info screen and show who scored the most goals and who had the most assists, and who was second and third, and so on and so forth. And I didn't do that. I'm really kind of annoyed because it's something that one of the things I like to show is that, or one of the knocked away. One of the things I like to do is I like developing teams that have more than one option. It's okay if I have one guy scoring 25 goals and he has 10 assists, but it's another. Oh, and Edward off the header, a very nice delivery by Olise on the penalty kick. Are they calling him offsides there? Are they really going to call him offsides there? No, they're not. Thank you. Look at that delivery. Edward just skies in front of the Chelsea defender. 2-0, 27 minutes in. Oh, he was well onside. I think the ball curving the way it did made him look offsides. They're really kind of playing in, aren't they? I wonder if that's the match engine issue where the inside forward and wingers are playing enough. Oh, Mateta got between the defenders, one-on-one with the keeper, and who is it? Is it Becker? It's not Becker. It's Mendy. Knocks it away for a very nice save. Sessegnon. Corner kick in. Chilwell knocks that away. Sessegnon's going to recover the carom. And the highlight ends. Coming up on a half, a 2-0 lead. I spoke too soon. Pulisic. Lukaku. Oh, nice save by Pavlenka. He heads it up to Edward, and that is halftime. A nice save by Pavlenka to take the clean sheet into the half. Now, Chelsea has 10 shots, 8 on target. We had 11 and 3, but we've made ours count. They've had 4 half chances. We've had 2. They're leading us on possession, but not by much. Lukaku to James. Sessegnon knocks the ball away. Edward can't get a head on it. Goes to Havertz. Havertz taps it over to James. Back to Havertz. Jorginho finds Pulisic on the run, and he hits it over the crossbar. Sessegnon on the throw-in to Milivojevic, who heads it back to Sessegnon. Gets the ball to Anderson. Back to Sessegnon. Long pass. Mateta heads it down, goes right to Silva, though. Silva gets it back to Christensen after some back and forth. Up into space, but no one in a Chelsea uniform is going to get there. Anderson to Seone, back to Anderson, over to Sessegnon, to Anderson, who bombs it over to Eze, who tries heading it towards Edward, but Christensen instead gets the ball. He gets it to Pulisic, back to Christensen. Jorginho to Christensen. Christensen feeds Lukaku, who has James out on the right, centers it for Solomon and pushed just wide left. Standard defensive width, too. Milivojevic dispossesses the Chelsea player, but Chilwell ends up with the ball. Solomon to Chilwell, back to Silva. Well, Chilwell sends it all the way back to Mendy, over to Christensen, to James. Back to Christensen, to Silva. Mount, back to Christensen, Silva. To Gallagher, to Chilwell. To Solomon, playing the waiting game, Lukaku. And he dinks it over Pavlenka and in for the goal. That was inevitable. Chelsea playing the short passing game to open up a long pass. Lukaku got behind the defender. Pavlenka went down and Lukaku went high. Floated in with ease. Take a look at the... We're going to get Eze off for Fosu. We're going to get Edward off for Pellegrini. Ferguson to Mitchell. Mitchell up into space. James gets it over to Mendy. Mendy bombs it forward. No one in a Chelsea uniform near. Anderson to Sessegnon. Olise up for Mateta. He may have been offsides. Well, they're saying no. Anderson to Sessegnon. By the time I looked at Mateta, it looked like he was already offsides. Olise, no, he was definitely onside. He was quite even with the number 5 player. Olise with all 3 assists this match. Well done, Michael. Mount, corner kick. Lukaku knocked away. Olise can't handle it. Gallagher picks it up. Sends it back to Chilwell. Chilwell driving forward. Passes up to Gallagher, to Solomon. Back to Jorginho. To Christensen. To James. To Ziyech. Lukaku. A lot of back and forth passing. Trying to open up a space. Ziyech, and he puts it just wide left. An excellent opportunity. And he just put a little bit too much on it. From a statistical point of view, Chelsea's been the better team. 18 shots, 10 on target, 6 block shots. Slight possession advantage. But it's not going to help him as we beat Chelsea 3-1. A brace of goals by Mateta. Olise has to be player of the match. It's not taking me to the match report there. Okay, we'll have to go back. Yeah, we got Bournemouth literally in 3 days. Olise was on fire. Yeah, player of the match was Michael Olise. 9.5 rating, 3 assists. He's quite the capable winger. I think Palace have a real find in him, and for the money they paid for him, he's definitely worth it. So save the game here, and we'll take a look at what's coming up. So due to the moves we made in terms of selling players and that, we now have 18 million in the bank, and we've got 300,000 pounds to work with in the transfer budget. I don't know that we're going to make any more moves. I've got my eyes on a couple players. Whether or not they want to come here is one thing. Whether or not I actually need them is another. We drew Shrewsbury in the Carabao Cup 3rd round, so we'll come back for them. We'll play these 4 teams offline and then do Arsenal and Shrewsbury. And then that'll give us enough of a break that we can come back and do Norwich and Wolves. Then it is the World Cup. So we'll probably have a fairly big break. We'll come back for our FA Cup 3rd round match, depending on who it is. And then probably Fulham. A bit of a break in between there. Keep in mind that plan's written in Jello on a hot... but keep in mind that plan's written on a sidewalk with Jello on a hot Texas day, so it may not matter. But 2 very good wins for us. Forest Green really didn't put up much of a fight, but we did well. We came out of there without injuries. Jean-Philippe Pateta, a brace of goals, Edward a goal, at least 3 assists in a game against Chelsea. They are a good squad. I don't know why they fired Tuchel after last season. Finishing 5th in the Premier League is nothing to sneeze at. 4 games in, we've got 6 points and a -1 goal differential. That's okay. This is where we're kind of aiming for. Actually, we're aiming for up here. But if we stay here most of the season and can kind of work our way up, I will be happy with that. So, some good games for us. Transfer window is still open. Still might make a few moves. We'll have to wait and see. I know from what I'm looking at in terms of player-wise, there's nobody here I'd be willing to move unless they offered us really good money for it. Like, West Ham wants Edward. They would have to at least offer me twice of what we paid for him. That would be $30 million. I don't know that West Ham's going to do that. I've got some players I've set up for loan. They may or may not go. But, yeah, we're at an interesting spot. So, I've got Milivojevic listed, but nobody's come after him. That's even after I offer to pay half his salary, which is £40,000 a week. There's still no takers. So, the squad's gotten better. It's gotten a little bit younger, maybe a little bit more healthy. We've got some nice backups at some quality. We have some nice backups at positions of need. You know, do we need a 4th striker just in case? Maybe. Do we need, yet another winger? I mean, if we go to the depth chart, this is what we're looking at. Edward Mateta Pellegrini Fosu, Elise Edward as a Schlupp Fosu, Hughes Elise Edward as a Fosu, Will Hughes Seoni as a Elise Riedewald. We got a couple more players there. Mitchell Guehi Wiedewald, Anderson Zagagwehi. Maybe another defensive center back just in case, who can also play right back just in case. Maybe another winger just in case, but I doubt that. Between Eze, Schlupp, and Fosu, the left is pretty covered. Between Elise, Hughes, and Fosu, the right's pretty much covered. So, we got to find a player who can actually contribute something to the team and is actually not going to cost us an arm or leg to do that. Maybe part of an arm or part of a leg, but not a whole arm or a leg or an arm and a leg. There's players out there like that. It's just a matter of finding them and putting the effort to find them if we really need them. I don't know what we do. So I'd be interested in your feedback, what you think. If you did like what you see now, please subscribe to the channel for more content, questions, criticisms, comments. Leave those down below. I'll answer those as fast as I can. My name is FM22.